Now, since this looks jittery, I can actually go to the graph editor and fix everything manually. But what I want to do is make it smooth by pressing Alt S so that we can save some time. So if you notice in the previous animation, when you smooth the animation with Alt S, it basically creates an issue with the legs. So if you want to avoid that, we can actually select all the bones and deselect the leg bones. So the way we can deselect the leg bones is hover over them and then press on Control and then drag select. And now it's going to deselect the leg. Again, I can do the same thing for the other leg. Control, drag select, and it's going to deselect the legs. So now we can go to the graph editor, make sure all of the curves are unhidden. So press on Alt H if you have any curves hidden. Now press on A to select all the bones, and I'm going to smooth it twice. So select all the keyframes again, Alt S, smooth, and then Alt S, smooth again. And let's watch our animation and see how it looks. And one more thing you should note is that when you smooth the animation, it might break the loop. So now let's go to frame 40, set the end frame to frame 40. And let's see, frame 0 and frame 40 are no longer the same. So it's going to break the loop. So an easy fix for that is you can go back to timeline, select frame 0 and move it on frame 40. And that's it. They're going to be the same. You can also do the same thing in the graph editor. So what you can do is make sure you have all of your bones selected. Then zoom out over here until you see all of the keyframes. Then box select and drag on first keyframe. Then press on Shift D. Then press on X to lock it only on X axis. And then insert these keyframes over at frame 40 right here. And now they're going to be the same. The frame 0 and frame 40 are going to be the same. But obviously it's way easier to go back to timeline, select frame 0, and then copy this over at frame 40. And now let's watch how the animation looks. I think that looks decent. Now another thing I want to do is slightly smooth the legs. So I'm going to select both legs, go back to the graph editor, press on A. Now once I select both legs, I can zoom out and look at the curves. And make sure these curves right here, this is the contact pose and this is the contact pose. Make sure these curves stay more or less flat. So I'm going to press on Alt S and then smooth it slightly, not all the way. Maybe let's do something like 20% or 30%. That should be enough. And let's look at the animation. I think that's already looking a lot better. Now, before you do anything else, make sure to select both legs. And again, once you smooth out the animation, the loop of your animation might break. So again, if I look at frame 0 and frame 40, they're a bit different. So I'll select frame 0. Shift D, copy it over at frame 40, and let's watch the animation. I think that looks decent. Maybe you can speed it up slightly. So you can select all keyframes, go to frame 0, press on A to select all keyframes, press on S, and then slightly shrink it. Maybe somewhere over here. And now let's see how the animation looks. It's a tiny bit faster. It's not bad. So I can go to frame 38, press on Ctrl N to set it as an end frame. And now let's watch the animation. I can actually toggle the overlays off, and let's see how the animation looks. So that's how you create your first Minecraft character walk cycle. It's by following the references and using your knowledge about Blender navigation and Blender keyframing. So as you can see, it's not hard. You just need to sit down and practice a little bit. And in the next lecture, I'm going to show you a few more tricks with the graph editor on how to create more variations of the walk cycle. For example, like the zombie walk cycle or the drunk walk cycle. And after that, we're going to move on to learning more advanced tools like the NLA editor, which will allow us to import a lot of animations, mix a lot of animations together, and tell great stories using Minecraft characters and Minecraft worlds. So if you're excited, let's move on to the next lecture.